Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So today we are going to discuss gate transform. And last class we had considered Laplace transform and its application to analog filters. Okay, and do you have any question from analog filters? So briefly we have discussed analog filters. Any question? Okay, so I think that you have got the idea about analog filters. So first of all, you should find out transfer function h of s. So quickly I'll discuss again. Then I'll move to gate transform. So if this is your system and its function is given as h of s in Laplace domain, this is your capital X of s. This is the output y of s, and we can find this ratio y upon s upon capital X of s. That is your h of s. It is called transfer function. Okay. Right. And then we had taken few examples of low pass filter, high pass filter, all those things. So first of all, for low pass filters, I said that in pole zero location, no? So this h of s, it could be in this form, some p of s upon q of s in general. Okay, so numerator polynomial is p of s and denominator polynomial is q of s. So this one we can write as s plus z0, s plus z1 up to s plus zm, and this is your s plus p0, like s plus pn, and one constant could be there, right? So the solution of above one is zeros and solution of below one is your poles. So you know that zeros will be denoted by circle and poles are denoted by cross. And for low pass filters, you should have all poles. So this is all pole system. Pole system. If there is no zeros, only the poles, you will get low pass filter like this one. Not only this, if you have this one, then also you will get a low pass filter. Okay, in a complex plane. So this is, we are calling it as plane. This is a real axis or sigma axis, and this is your imaginary axis, that is your j omega axis. Okay, and to compute h of j omega, that magnitude, that you should understand, this magnitude that you can calculate. So it's a function of omega. So I'll calculate, consider a point j here, sorry, s here, then connect these points and then find the magnitudes. Okay, and you will see that the point s equal to j omega, it will move from origin to the higher frequency side, and that time you need to show the magnitude plot, and every time you will expect that it should look like this. This is your low pass filter. This omega, this is your magnitude plot. Okay, Now in circuit, I can use, 1 minute. Suppose one resistance and one capacitor. If this is our circuit, this is R, this is C, input is VI, and output is V0. So in Laplace domain, this V0 S upon VIS, that will give you the transfer function, H of S. And that you can find out the impedance of this capacitor. That is, so for capacitor, its reactance, no? XC of S is 1 upon CS, right? And why it is so? Because if the capacitor is C, its voltage across the capacitor is VC, and current to the capacitor is IC. And what is the relation between IC and VC? Anybody? Anyone? Can you tell me what is the relation between IC and VC for a capacitor? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the relation IC and VC? Do you know? In circuit theory, you should have gone through.
IC is equal to C into dV by dt.
IC, exactly. IC equal to C dVc dt. Right? So if you take Laplace on both sides, I will count small IC, okay? Then capital IC of S in Laplace domain, it is C and derivative. So if I consider that it is initially relaxed, there is no initial voltage, then it is simply C into derivative for AS into VCS, right? So you see this VCS upon ICS, this impedance is 1 upon CS. Thus, the reactance of a capacitor is 1 upon CS. Similarly, if you have an inductance L, and voltage across inductor is VL, and inductance current is IL. So what is the relation? VL equals to L DIL dt. And if I consider that this, okay, I should go for small only, because capital letter I'll be using for Laplace. So this small IL 0 minus, so it is 0 ampere. Initially relaxed, okay? Then capital VL of S is L times S times IL of S. So therefore, this impedance ZS is VLS upon ILS. That is simply L into S or S into L. Okay, so capacitors should be replaced by SL impedance and inductors. So in short, what I am saying that inductor, its impedance is S into L. This is your X. And for capacitor, its X is 1 upon CS or SC. Right? And then you can find out transfer function. So now, if I consider one example, if it is a resistance, it's a capacitor. So its impedance is 1 upon CS. And this is impedance R. This is your VI. And this is your V0. Okay, capital VIS I write. This is your capital V0S. So this transfer function V0S upon VIS will be This impedance of the capacitor is 1 upon Cs upon total impedance R plus 1 upon Cs. If you simplify it, you will get 1 upon 1 plus RCS. Okay. So this we can replace as 1 plus S upon omega C, where omega C equals to 1 upon RC. Right? So RC is time constant. So 1 upon time constant is your cutoff frequency. Okay. So if this is your H of S, so you see H of j omega will be 1 upon 1 plus j omega upon omega C. So therefore magnitude will be 1 upon square root 1 plus omega by omega C, that square. And you see, if you plot it, you will see that it is decreasing in this way. Is it correct? So at omega equal to 0, it is 1. At omega equal to omega C, its value will be 1 upon root 2. And when it is more than that, it will become 0. It's close to, it is approaching to 0. So this is first order. So this is called first order low pass filter. An order depends on number of polynomial in the denominator. Okay, as you have only one pole, so you see in the pole location here, you have only one pole. Okay, and that pole values is S equals to, sorry. So this S value is minus 1 upon RC. At that point, you are having a pole. So a single pole system, a low pass filter, right? And if you want to make second order, then you can cascade these two. Okay. What I can do, I can consider second order just taking like this. So you see, this is a low pass filter. This is another low pass filter, and they are cascaded. This is R1, C1, R2, C2. So this is low pass, again low pass. So this will be second order low pass filter. Right? Similarly, you can go for higher order low pass filter, just cascading these RC blocks. Right? And you will get better cutoff frequency, means a sharp cutoff you will get, you can expect if you increase the order. Now, for high pass filter, you know that it will be just opposite. One capacitor and one resistor. This is a C. This, so this is 1 upon Cs, I'll consider. So this is your VIS, this is V naught S. And you see here, this V naught S upon VIS. Now it is R upon R plus 1 upon Cs. Because this resistance upon total resistance. It's a potential divider circuit. Self resistance upon total resistance. So this is R upon R plus 1 upon Cs. Clear? So if you simplify it, you will get RCS upon 1 plus RCS. So you see here, this is RC1 constant. This is S upon 1 plus S by omega C. So you are having one pole and 1 0 at origin. And pole is equal to minus omega C, and 0, here it is 0, is equal to 0. Okay, and I told you that whenever you will get one pole and one zero, and number of poles and number of zeros are same, and zero is at origin pole on the left hand side, then it will behave as a high pass filter. Okay, so this is your first order high pass filter. Similarly, you can cascade these two blocks to get this second order high pass filter. Okay, C1 R1 and C2 R2. Okay, and transfer function, what it could be, right? So in above one low pass filter, H of S for LPF, you see, you should have some constant only one, nothing and no others, okay? And here this second order. And second order polynomials, generally you are writing in this form, a square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So this is a standard form for second order polynomial. And where this omega n is called natural frequency, and zeta is the damping coefficient. Okay, and depending on zeta, you can see that the location of pole, no, it could be real or in complex plane. And we can show that if zeta is more than 1, then it is roots are real. Otherwise, if zeta is less than 1 and up to 0, so zeta value is generally within 0 to infinity. And 0 to 1 is in your complex plane, and 1 to infinity, it will be on real axis. And zeta equal to 1, you will get exactly equal roots. Okay, so those things will be discussed in detail in control system. Okay, but here just introduction only. And for this high pass filter, HS will be similar, a square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square, it will be even same, but as there are two poles on left hand side, I should get two zeros at origin. Then only it will behave as high pass filter. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So how can you get a band pass filter? So for band pass filter, you see the ideal plot should look like this. It is omega C1 and omega C2. This is your omega. No? So can I get this thing as, suppose if I consider one low pass filter up to this one, omega C2, this is omega, this is for low pass filter, and for high pass filter, if I consider a high pass filter like this, it is omega C1. Okay, this is your high pass filter. Now if you multiply these two, then what you will get? Okay, it just multiply. So if I multiply these two, this and this, then will we get this result? Can you see? Because 0 to omega c, the high pass filter coefficient is 0, spectrum is 0. So 0 into 1, so actually it is 1. So it will become 0. And when omega is more than omega c2, then also magnitude 0, because low pass filter is magnitude is becoming 0. But when this common zone omega C1 to omega C2, both are 1, and their multiplication is also 1. Okay, so thus you will get this one. This is your h of j omega for band pass filter. So what's the meaning? So we should get product of this low pass and high pass. And when you get product of two spectrum, if you take convolution, means if we connect one after another, then only you will get convolution. Okay, so what I can say, I can consider one low pass filter here and followed by a high pass filter. Okay, this is suppose h1 of j omega. This is one h1 of j omega, and this is your h2 of j omega. Okay, I will get equivalent band pass filter. Right? So in circuit, what you can do? Low pass filter, you can design one resistance and one capacitor. And high pass filter, you can design fast capacitor followed by resistance. Clear? So this is your R1 C1, this is R2 C2, and this is your input V1S and V2S. Okay, so if you find the transfer function V2S upon VIS, this HS, you will get of this form. Again, it's a S square plus 2 zeta omega n S plus omega n squared in this form. And numerator, you will get some S. S upon S square plus 2 zeta omega n S plus omega n squared. Two poles on left hand side. Sorry. So two poles on left hand side and 1 0 at origin. That will give you a high pass filter, sorry, band pass filter. Now my question is, if you change this order, so if you take a reverse order, means first high pass filter followed by low pass filter. So what you will get?
Band reject.
Band reject.
So again, you see this condition I have considered the cutoff frequency of low pass filter is omega C2, cutoff frequency of high pass filter is omega C1, where omega C2 should be more than omega C1. That is one condition we have checked, considered. Then only we'll get some overlapping area, otherwise not. Okay. But if you first consider high pass filter and then low pass filter, again you will get a product. No, product of these two, and product of A and B and B of A, it's same. Right? So can you expect that if you use first low pass, high pass filter followed by low pass filter, it will give you band reject? No. You can't get a band reject filter.
No, sir.
If you choose in this way, suppose for band reject filters, what is the ideal plot? Up to omega C1, it is pass band. Beyond omega C2, again it is pass band. This is your H of j omega. This is 1. Okay, this is ideal. Now, how to get this thing? So if you consider a low pass filter like this, or suppose high pass filter I'm considering, high pass filter like this, and then followed by a low pass filter like this, will you get this one after taking product?
We have
So
to
this is low
do
pass.
addition.
Addition.
Exactly. It is not by multiplication. You can get this one by addition. Okay. So if I take the addition of these two, then I can get this one. So addition means what? Not cascading. It is parallel combination. Okay. So this is the input, BIS. I should use a low pass filter here. And I should use a high pass filter here. And then we just will combine these two. I'll get V naught S. So if it is your H1 of j omega, this is your H2 of j omega, then for this total system, okay, this H of j omega would be simply addition of these two, H1 of j omega plus H2 of j omega. So low pass filter cutoff frequency is omega C1, its cutoff frequency omega C2, and we have to consider omega C1 should be less than omega C2. Otherwise, what will happen? If I consider omega C1 is more than omega C2, can you tell me what you will get? Anyone? If I choose omega C1 is more than omega C2, and for this combination, parallel combination, so what system you will get? Is it still band reject filter?
High pass filter.
No.
It will be overlapping.
Just adding these two. Just only difference is that if I consider omega C1 is more than omega C2, so low pass filter will be up to this, and high pass filter will be from here to here. Just add these two. Okay, so this combination, it could be little bit like this. So up to this one is 1, and here it is 2, common zone, then again it is 1, like that. Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
some sort of bandpass again.
Hmm.
But again, so this is not a purely bandpass because this frequency is also passing through with the magnitude 1, and this passband is magnitude 2. It's amplified. That's all. So it's not a good design at all. So we should not go for that. Right? And for this band reject filter, H of S. So I can't discuss right now this one, but just I should mention is 2 zeta omega n S plus omega n squared, because second order it will become, right? And numerator you will get of this form S squared plus omega n squared. Better. So or S squared plus 2 zeta 1 omega n S plus omega n squared, where zeta 1 is less than zeta. This is the condition. If you could maintain, then you will get a band reject filter. Both numerator and denominator will be second order polynomial. So in particularly zeta 1 equals to 0, if I consider, right? If zeta 1 equals to 0, then H of S look like this. This is simply a square plus omega n squared. No? And that time the plot, you will see that this is suppose omega n. So you will see this is, it will look like this. Okay. So particular that frequency omega n is filtered out, and that is called notch filter. Right? And circuit wise, okay, we can design circuit for the band reject filter. I'm considering band reject filter. Okay. So you see one low pass filter is required. So what you'll do? Low pass filter means one resistance and one capacitor. This is grounded, suppose. And for high pass filter, I should have one capacitor and one resistance, right? But then we need to add, how to add this one here? So that you can do using, so if I put one resistance, so it will remain low pass filter, doesn't matter. Similarly, in the series, if it is capacitor, again if I put a capacitor here, it will remain high pass filter. Then these two ends we can connect together. So this circuit can behave as a band reject filter. Okay. So quickly we are moving because don't have too much time to discuss all those things. Right. So any question? An all pass filter, okay. Last but one. So all pass filter. APM. And its transfer function H of j omega will be like this. This is your 1 plus s upon omega c. If there is a pole at minus omega c, then there should be a 0 on right side s upon at omega c. Means if I have a pole this side s equal to minus omega c, I should have a 0 here s equal to plus omega c. Then you will see for any frequency it's h of s, okay? H of s. So if you put s equal to j omega, then this magnitude and this magnitude will be always same. So this is s, this is p, this is z. So what is the magnitude? M of omega will be sz upon sp. And you see both will be same and they will cancel and it will become 1 if they are equal distance from the origin on the both sides. Right? Because from here also you will find this one. So h of j omega, its magnitude, what will happen? Square root 1 plus omega c, that square. Again this one also 1 plus omega upon omega c, that square. Because a minus jb, a plus jb, they will have same magnitude. So they will cancel and you will get 1 always for all frequency. But angle is different. So this angle, so minus tan inverse omega by omega c, again it will give you minus tan inverse omega c, so 2 times of that one. See? So all pass filter is used to provide some phase delay in a network. That is the application of all pass filters. So without changing magnitude spectrum, we can provide certain phase or certain delay to some elements. Right? Okay. Now, so any question from this part? You have got the concept of filters, analog filters?
Yes, sir.
And you studied analog filters earlier in circuit theory? So did you study this analog filter in circuit theory? It was in your course? Can you respond, please?
Yes, sir.
So you had this, this idea. Then from
Yes, sir.
better, okay. Then Butterworth filter, it was studied. He studied Butterworth filter. Butterworth was in your course.
No, sir. No, sir. No.
So here also I have to skip because time is not there. Okay. Anyway, so we'll move to the discrete domain, the Z transform. Next topic is Z transform. And you see the idea. If you have a system H of n, and if you apply a sequence X of n, and you know that you will get a sequence Y of n, which is convolution between Xn and H of n. And that we can write as summation of H of k and X of n minus k, and where k equals to minus infinity to infinity, right? This is the convolution in discrete domain. Now, you
Yes,
can
sir.
choose special kind of sequence that will produce again same sequence with some scaling factors, that is called eigensequence, right? Eigensignal. So we have discussed that for discrete system, if we consider xn equals to z to the power n kind of sequence, then what you will get? Okay, so what is the corresponding output? This yn, this is your h of k, this is z to the power n minus k, and k equals to minus infinity to infinity. Okay, so these we can rewrite as summation of h of k z to the power minus k. So this is the summation because this z to the power n is independent of k. So here summation is with respect to k minus infinity plus infinity. So this one we can write, so obviously it is a function of z. We write capital H of z times z to the power n. Right? So what implies? If I have a sequence, so system H of n, if I apply z to the power n sequence, we'll get again z to the power n, but only H of z is multiplied. So based on this thing, you can see that whether sequence is attenuated or it is passing through the system or it is amplified like that. Okay. Thus, H of z will give you the system behavior. So you see the H of z here, where this H of z is H of k and z to the power minus k equals to minus infinity to infinity. And this is called Z transform. Okay. So from discrete sequence, if we multiply z to the power minus k, then if we sum it up, we'll get H of z, that is Z transform, right? Now, this one can converge, or so we can see the convergence of this one. So that sequence, the summation, this y of n, its magnitude, suppose I want to compute. So magnitude of this h of k times z to the power minus k equal to 0, sorry, minus infinity to infinity, this will be less than equal to what we can write. It is summation, and we can put the absolute one in inside h of k z to the power minus k. Because sometimes positive, negative. So if I consider all time positive, we'll get the maximum summation. Okay, with k equals to minus infinity to infinity. Now z we can choose of this form are the magnitude and e to the power j omega in this form. Right? So if I choose in this form, then you see this is same as summation of h of k and r to the power minus k, that magnitude. Okay, and if this is less than infinity, then only I will say that it's a converging. We can choose R in such a way that this sequence will converge. Okay, that is possible. You can choose. So I'll show you some example. Okay, so what you are getting? So this is interesting. If I use z equals to r e to the power j omega, okay, so what is happening h of z? The summation h of k, and z is r e to the power j omega whole to the power minus k, right? So this is your k equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. So can I rewrite this thing as h of k times r to the power minus k, okay, and e to the power minus j omega into k, and can I consider this thing on unit together? Okay, and the limit is again k equals to minus infinity to infinity. Am I correct? Okay, so this is one function of k, first one, and it is multiplied with e to the minus j omega k, then it is sum it up. What is that? Can you identify this expression? Is it like this? X of n e to the power minus j omega n, its summation? No? This is your capital X of e to the power j omega. Is it right? So it is Fourier transform. So this is simply a Fourier transform of that one. So n equal to minus infinity to infinity. So that you can say it's a Fourier transform of this sequence h of k and r to the power minus k. Right? And if r equals to 1, so if z equals to only e to the power j omega, if I choose r equal to 1, then what will you get? So what is this? H of e to the power j omega. Just z is replaced by e to the power j omega. No? And that is simply, this is h of k and e to the power minus j omega k minus infinity. It is the Fourier transform. Is it correct? So what's the meaning? Meaning is that in z plane or z domain, z transform domain, here if you replace z by e to the power j omega, you will get Fourier transform. Whether it is DTFT, not only, say it is discrete time Fourier transform. Okay. Clear? So I'll take few example. Suppose x of n I'm writing. Okay, x of n is given one sequence. was 2, 5, 7, was 4. Okay, and if I say this is the arrow, that you know that the arrow indicates the origin. Okay, so this is actually x of 0 is 2, x of 1 is 5, x of 2 is 7, x of 3 is 4. Right. So what is your capital X of Z? Okay. So you understand, no? If x of n is given and x of z is x of n, z to the power minus n, and that summation. Right? N equals to minus infinity to infinity. So in general, we can expand it. So at origin, x of 0, n equal to 0, it is x of 0, and z to the power 0 is 1. It's one multiplication. Then x of 1, z to the power minus 1 is multiplication. Then x of 2, z to the power minus 2 is multiplied. Like that, right side. And left side, it is x of minus 1, z multiplication. X of minus 2, z square multiplication. Is it correct? Just to replace n values. Starting from zeros to right side in positive infinity or left side minus infinity. Okay. So for this sequence, it is only positive side, right side sequence. So it's 2 plus 5, it will be multiplied with z to the minus 1, 7, z to the power minus 2, 4, z to the power minus 3. Is it correct? Okay. So similar to this Laplace transform, what is the region of convergence, ROC? So when this x of z will exist and when it will not exist, it will become infinite. Can you tell me when this x of z will become infinite?
Z equal to 0.
Okay. So will you get any other point? Because this is finite. So if you put z some values, you will get 1 upon z certain other values. Okay, maybe high, but some values you will get. So if only it's 0, then only 1 upon 0 is becoming infinite. Okay, so its ROC will contain entire z plane except z equals to 0. Right? So if this is your z plane, it's a real axis, it's the imaginary axis. This is your z plane. I'll say this everything except this origin. So except this origin. Clear? So if it is positive sequence starting from 0, then obviously its ROC will contain entire z plane except the origin. Right. Next one. If we consider x and just opposite. So this is your 6, this is your 2, this is minus 1, this was 5, like that. And this is your origin. Yes. So what is your x of z? Can you tell me? So this is your 6, and this is your 2z, this is minus z square, and this is your 5z cube. Am I correct? Is it okay? No?
Yes, sir.
So what is
Yes.
ROC? What is ROC?
Z plane.
Entire z plane except z equals to infinity. No, when z equal to infinity, again it will become infinite. So ROC will be entire z plane except z approaching to infinity. Right? So that is for left side sequence. So if we have a sequence which will contain both, but finite, it's a finite sequence. So it is 4. This side is 3. This is -7. This is 5. This is also -2. This is your 6, like that. And you see x of z, simply go write this is 4. Right side will be 3 due to -1, -7 due to -2, +5 due to -3. And this side is -2 z. This is your 6 z square. Okay? So what is RC? So you see this one on this right side, this will not exist if z equal to 0. And this side will not exist, means it will become infinity if z becoming infinity. So only these 2 points, except these 2 points, entire z plane. No? So its ROC will be the z plane, entire z plane, except z equals to 0 and z infinity. Okay, I hope you have got this concept. So this is all about a finite length sequence. These are all for finite length sequence. Now we'll consider some infinite length sequence. Okay. For that, what you will get, right? So now, if I consider one example, xn equals to alpha to the power n, un, right? So what is your x of z? Can you find out? So what is your x of z? So un is multiplied. So first one is n equal to 0, it is 1. So you have the sequences 1, alpha, alpha square, alpha q, like that, and starting from here. Right? So obviously you will get this is 1 plus alpha times z to the power -1 plus alpha square z to the power -2 plus alpha q z to the power -q, like that. Okay, so these we can consider as 1 plus alpha z to the power -1. This is alpha z to the power -1, that square. This is alpha z to the power -1, that q. It's okay? Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
So what is the summation? It is Gibbs rich. 1 plus r square plus r cube. It is 1 upon 1 minus r. Is alpha z to the power -1. It's okay? But this is under one condition. What is the condition? So what is ROC?
Z is greater than alpha.
So this alpha z to the power -1, its magnitude, no, it should be less than 1. Can I say? So z is greater than alpha or less than alpha? Yes. Can you conclude? So this is, it should be less than 1. So alpha upon this thing. So on opposite way, I can say that Z by alpha, its magnitude should be more than 1. So its mod Z should be more than mod alpha. Is it correct? Okay. Now, what the, how will show this one? Mod Z is more than alpha. Okay. Now in Z plane, okay, this is your real axis. This is imaginary axis. So magnitude of Z is mod alpha. Okay. So how will plot? Magnitude of Z is whatever alpha is given, that magnitude I can consider. Right? So in complex plane, the magnitude is constant. So what is the locus?
Circle.
Circle. Exactly. It's a radius. It will give you a radius. No? So this is the locus. The magnitude is remaining constant around the origin. So this radius is your mod alpha. Right? Now, if it is outside that one, so Z is this side. In this region, outside this circle, there the sequence will converge. This Z transform will converge. And inside, it will not converge. Clear? So this entire Z plane, except this within the circle, with radius mod alpha. So that you have to be careful. Right. Now, similarly, if you have a negative sequence, right? So, if I consider next example, x of n equals suppose minus alpha to the power, particularly that only I will try to calculate, alpha to the power n minus 1 u of minus n minus 1, u of minus n minus 1. Okay. So what is the sequence? Can you tell me what is the sequence here? Xn's. So n equal to 0, it is 0. Sorry, I'll put in there. It is 0 here. Then n equal to minus 1. This is u of simply 0 is also 1. And it is alpha to the power 0 is 1. Okay. Then n equal to minus 2. This is alpha. Then alpha square. Then alpha cube. Like that. Is it correct? Okay. So can we, so here I want to think, so what is the x object? Can you find x object? So this is this side, okay. This is your 0, I'll consider, plus 1 into z plus alpha into z square, right? And then
The sequence should be minus alpha square minus alpha cube.
exactly. You are right, exactly right. This is -1, minus alpha, all those things. Okay. So this is minus sign is always there. Minus alpha square, and it's alpha cube. Minus alpha cube, it be for 4. Like that. So if I take common of this z, then what you will get? And minus z. Just I can get 1 plus alpha into z plus this alpha z square, like that. Right? So I think if I consider this thing is positive, n minus 1, then probably I'll get similar. Okay. I'll intentionally consider plus alpha to of n minus 1. Okay. Then you will get this side is minus sign. Alpha to minus 1, like that. I wish to get that one. Okay. This is because same form I want to get. Alpha to the power minus 3, g to the power minus 3, plus 3. Is it correct? If I start with alpha to the power n minus 1, then you will see this is minus z, and this will be your 1 upon 1 minus alpha to the minus 1 into z. Is it correct? Or anything, any mismatch? Can you get the same form that we are looking at? Okay. I think this is correct. Okay. Whatever you have got, that is fine. Take it fine. I wish to get, okay. Take one more sequence. So if it is minus alpha to the power n only, not n minus 1, and u of minus n minus 1. Can you try with this? So what is sequence? So at n equal to 0, it is 0. N equals to minus 1, it is alpha to the power minus 1. Then n equal to minus 2, alpha to the power minus 2. Then alpha to the minus 3, like that. And for this, what is the x of, sorry, minus sign again. Forget. So x of z will be simply, this is 0, and then I write this side, okay, minus alpha to the power minus 1 z minus alpha to the power minus 2 right, z square, like that. Is it correct? No? So this sequence, can you find out? So this is simply, I can write minus alpha to the power minus 1 z common. This is 1 plus alpha to the power minus 1 z plus alpha to minus 1 z, that square, like that. Is it okay? Am I correct till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is this series? This minus alpha to the minus 1 z, and this is 1 upon 1 minus alpha to the minus 1 into z. Is it correct? So now if I multiply minus sign and divide these things, so will you get that it is 1 and this is again, so this is becoming, I can again multiply and divide, it's okay. So 1 minus alpha z to the power minus 1. I think you will get the same result. Is it fine? So you see, you will get the same Z transform for negative sequence. Okay, so we should conclude this one. So what we have got for xn equals to alpha to the power n un, its x of z is 1 upon 1 minus alpha to the power minus 1. Okay, and again xn equals to minus alpha to the power n and u of minus n minus 1. And for that again x of z equals to 1 minus alpha to the power minus 1. But different thing is that it's ROC. It's ROC and this ROC. What is it? So here it was alpha z to the power minus 1. That mod should be less than 1. And here it is alpha to the power minus 1 and z. Oh, it was opposite. No? So you can check. So this is the series. So alpha to the power minus 1 z, this ratio should be less than 1. Okay, this is the condition. So you will see that this should be less than 1. So here what you will get, mod z is more than mod alpha, but in this case mod z is less than mod alpha. Here this is the unit circle with radius of mod alpha. This is the region outside, and in this case this is your mod alpha, and it is within this one. This is the ROC. Have you got my point? So
Yes, sir.
two different sequence can give you same Z transform. I think same thing we discussed in Laplace transform as well. So if ROC is not specified, then you can't find out which one is the correct one. No. So along with this ROC, it is a complete one, and you can find corresponding sequence. Now, if the signal is having both sides, left side as well as right side, okay, then what you will get? Suppose if I consider one sequence like this, x of n is half to the power n un and plus minus 1/3 to the power n and again u of n. And can you tell me Z transform and the corresponding ROC? What is your x of z? So, okay, I can use the one property, that is linearity. The same thing is also applicable here. So using linearity property, you can combine these two. So what is x of z? So this right side sequence. So it is 1 upon 1 minus alpha is in this case half, and it is z to the power minus 1. Is it fine? And second one, can you tell me? What is the expression for the second term? Anyone? This is 1. This is 1 plus, so minus minus plus alpha is minus 1 over 3. This is minus 1 upon 3, z to the power minus 1. Good. So then you can combine these two together and you can find out the final expression for this. Okay. So this 2, okay. So I can write that it is a 2z upon 2z minus 1 plus 3z upon 3z plus 1. So you can combine these two together, 2z minus 1 and 3z plus 1. And here it is, you can multiply 3 2 is the 6 z square plus 2z. This is your 6z square minus 3z. So if you simplify, you'll see 12z square minus z upon, so this is the product, 2z minus 1 and 3z plus 1. This is your z common. So this is 12z minus 1. Okay, this is the z transform. Now, what is the ROC? So when this will converge, what is that? Mod z should be more than half. Am I correct? Because right side sequence, it's outside of circle. And this one, when it will converge? Who can tell me? So you see the first one is, this is your half. Radius is half, okay? So this side, this length is half. Now this one, it's mod z. It's again right side, it's more than mod of alpha. Here mod of 1 upon 3 is 1 upon 3. And 1 upon 2 and 1 upon 3. 1 upon 3 is less. So I think that we can draw here. So that could be like this. Okay. And it shows that it should be this side. So beyond this. But what is the common region when both will converge? Anyone please? The common region of convergence?
Out of the 1 by 2.
Out of 1 by 2. So if we combine these two together, you'll see that mod z should be more than half. So this is your ROC. So you need to specify this one. Okay. Now if one is right side sequence, other one is left side sequence, then what you will get? Right? Suppose if I consider one example, that xn in this form, a to the power n un minus b to the power n and u of minus n minus 1. Right? So what is your x of z? Can you calculate? So it will be 1 upon 1 minus a z to the power minus 1. And this one, what is the z transform? Again the same form, including minus sign. Be careful. So this is again plus sign. It's 1 upon 1 minus b z to the power minus 1. Am I correct? But this will converge when the mod z is more than mod a, and this will converge when mod z is less than mod b. Is it right? So if I choose one particular example, so a equal to 3 and b equal to 4, then what you will get? Can you draw this one? So a equal to 3 means this one. So this is converging this side, outside this 3. So this is your 3. And 4, suppose this is the 4. This is your 4 point, okay? And you see, this one will converge if it is less than this one within this circle. So which one is the common?
In 3 and 4.
So within the 3 and 4, this ring, no? So exactly this is your region of convergence. So mod z should be more than 3 but less than 4. So it's a less than 4 and more than 3. Correct? Okay. Now, so similarly, so you can calculate all the others. You can cosine, sine, all those things. Also, you can calculate. And we need to find out the inverse Z transform, right? And some digital filters. So these are left. First, we'll discuss some inverse Z transform using some partial fraction only. Very simple concept. And then we will go for digital filters. And two type of digital filters we will be discussing. One is FIR, finite impulse response, and second one will be IIR. Okay. So inverse Z transform and filter, digital filters. Using Z domain. Okay. So this is an important concept. So we'll be discussing next class. And I think two more class we will get. Am I correct? How many lectures I can get? Do you have any idea?
We have an exam at 13.
I think most probably next week.
I think after 2 lectures, you had some division, all those things are there probably. No? So that will be reserved. So that week, if you have some question, you can ask me. So we can complete this part. Actually, we can discuss this Z transform. This will be over, sure. And one more lecture I will get, and there I'll try to discuss random signals. Okay. For random signal, what is your correlation coefficient and its Fourier transform, particle density? So if possible, I'll discuss that thing. After that, we'll cover, and that will be your syllabus. Right? So any question? And I'm asking all of you, please revise your concept thoroughly and try to solve so many problems. Okay, collect the problems from different books, get papers, try to solve it. Unless you solve lots of problems, you won't get the confidence. So in exam hall, you'll face the difficulty. Okay. And if you have any doubt, you can contact me. I'll try to discuss with you. Right? And you can follow my YouTube channel. There probably I am adding few problems, and I am planning to add more problems regarding signals and systems. So that I'll do. Okay. So any question, please?